Well, let's switch gears for a second. Someone who we've talked about many times before, Terry Crews.
Yes.
In a very Terry Crews type of thing, once again, he decides to put up the word coon and use the acronym Conquering Our Own Negativity.
Right.
My stomach turned, honestly, when I read that.
I think Terry Crews is a cat who is liked by a lot of Americana, a lot of middle-aged white women, a lot of liberal white women love him, and he's like their fucking mascot, and it appeals to him. And the funny thing that Terry Crews was talking about, he actually coined the phrase of black supremacy, which he was worried about. Now, before, we just got to the point where Black Lives Matter, where black people were considered human beings. It's a long way before we're supreme. And I think that when that's your worry, he seems to always find a way to ask questions or answer questions no one's asking. And I think he comes off as disingenuous. And when it is that you make people comfortable, people that dislike you or disagree, like I can understand us having disagreement, but people are arguing about whether our lives matter. Like we just had Tim Cotton, a senator from Arkansas, during an interview, he said that the founding fathers knew that slavery was a necessary evil. A necessary evil. So that was how they qualified it. That was how they explained it away. You are not ever going to go from we had to do this to you, you're a necessary evil, to now you're running the country. As a matter of fact, it's never happened. And I think one of the reasons you're seeing what you're seeing right now and this fear and trepidation, because the country is changing. In 25 to 30 years, we'll be a majority minority country. And there are people who don't want it to be that way. But I think when you are Terry Crews and you ask these questions, you answer questions that no one is asking, it comes off as disingenuous and ill-informed. Like maybe he should put down the curl bar and pick up a fucking history book.
Right. And, Terry, I know you watch these interviews and so forth. You've responded to me publicly and so forth. You may not care about this because, you're obviously just chasing the dollar right now. But one thing that I think about that other people who I feel are great think about is our legacy, how we're remembered. And Terry, who I think is a good actor, is funny, has had great roles. He was great in Next Friday. He was great on Everyone Hates Chris. And, he's had what I feel is a good career. He's really going to be remembered, and to his children and so forth, as someone that you don't want to be remembered as.
Hey, man, I tell you what. Chance the Rapper came out in support of Kanye.
Right.
When Terry Crews went, you're right, he went, fuck that.
I'm off this hill.
Right.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Terry Crews, I swear, if Terry Crews had been as aggressive with a dude who grabbed his dick as he is with Black Lives Matter, we're not having this conversation. Like, I literally think, I do not understand. Like, he wrote a children's book, which is a noble thing to do. Nobody quite gets what you're doing because these kind of statements will come out of it's a conversation we're not even having.
Right. Because people were responding and was like, Terry, this is a horrible term. This is not something to be embraced.
Right.
You don't put this on a t-shirt.
Right.
And he said, I agree the word is horrible, but I've learned to catch the lemons thrown at you. I make lemonade, I make lemon bars, I make a lemon-scented hand sanitizer, blah, 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 a bunch of nonsense where it's like.
I swear, Terry Crews and Kanye West should get a room in the same fucking mental asylum.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
They should have kids.
They should have the same fucking medication.
They should make out.
What do they make niggas like that at?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I almost feel like he's kind of trolling black people on white people's behalf.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's the same thing because they know there really is no consequence because they really do.
Right,
The
because
white people aren't gonna get so mad they run you off, and black people don't matter to a lot of people in the high system of the hierarchy. So they'll go, well, he said it to his own people and it's fine, and we don't kind of have enough.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting point because had he said something similar, like let's just say he said KIKE stands for kindness,
right? No,
innovation, new something else. I don't know.
Never do that.
That would be the end of his America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Job right then and there. But I guess since he's speaking about his own people, he could take a racial slur like that and turn it into some nonsense.
They all understand. I'm gonna tell you something. Like everybody tells me how Kanye is mentally ill. He's not Nick Cannon mentally ill. He's not gonna say anything about white people or Jewish people. He knows that he can say things and nothing will happen to him because he speaks about slaves and a legacy there. So he knows that. But usually, if somebody's mentally ill, when people say the insane shit those men do, usually they live under a fucking underpass with a cardboard sign that said "Repent, Jesus is coming." They do. They're like, and I don't feel bad for people that can access help with just saying yes. They have the resources to do it, so it serves a purpose. But to denigrate to give people, I hope that I never give people who hate me or people like me comfort. I hope they never go, that really made me feel good. And I think that both those men have done things that made people who really are hell-bent on making sure that they have a destructive effect on your life feel comfortable.
Yeah, I remember when I was talking to Lunel, and we were talking about the Biden statement about the Trump being the first elected racist in office. And we were just talking about all the early presidents who had slaves. Lunel's like, well, Trump probably got slaves himself. And I'm like, really? She's like, oh yeah, Kanye for sure.
Yeah, what about Diamond and Silk?
Diamond and Silk.
And it's always amazing to me how people, they always go back. Like we're always distracted. Like Trump was like, Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. But the week before, he signed an executive order protecting monuments to men who are actually terrorists.
Yeah.
Who's killed more people, literally? Black Lives Matter or Andrew Jackson?
Robert E. Lee.
So everybody that's on the statue, matter of fact, and the only predicate for getting a statue in America is to be brutal to black people, to kill a lot of black people. The last time America erected a statue to a white dude that didn't kill a lot of black people was Rocky, and he beat the shit out of Clubber Lang and Apollo Creed.
That was even a real statue. That was just a movie statue.
Right.